time for the bell. How many options will you sell? Fire up your platform, get ready to enter. But first, let's get the mindset centered. Hey, hey, let's go. We're not here to gamble, we're here to trade. We follow the plan, that's how we get paid. Testing, trading, have success. Find what works for you and forget the rest. Stats and probabilities is what we're about. Time to dismiss greed and doubt. Focus on the process, not the money. And the profits will flow like honey. Power Hour Live, let's start the show. Come on, trade hackers, get ready to go. 0-day options, time to make bank. Get locked and loaded, then be ready to plank. Hey!
Hey everyone, welcome to Power Hour Live, Wednesday, May 14th. S&P up 6, NASDAQ up 95, Russell is down 13, Dow is down 51. Gold and silver both down over 2%, notes and bonds red, 10-year yield at 0.85. Oil down 1%, natural gas down 5%. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all finished green. Euro and the pound slightly red. Bitcoin down 1.28%. VIX pretty close to where it was yesterday's close, down just a little bit. Currently at 18.19. So for me today, VIX got smoked. I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 double stops. Still got one. My last tranche is still open with no stop sides, but down after selling longs, probably down 1,500-ish. So not crazy for having that many double stops, but that whippy action got me. Let's see. On my other stuff, I did 3 Elmos. All 3 of those were winners. Hit profit target. Well, I closed one early for about 19%. The other 2 hit profit target. So up 2,350 on my Elmos. And then I did a 1 DTE, which I transformed into an upside vertical for tomorrow's expiration. So that looks like this here. So minimum profit 250, max profit 1250 if it closes above 59.50. And then day trades got chopped up, which, you know, I identified that it was going to be choppy price action today, and when I do that, I should have probably just not traded, but I decided to try to do some scalping. So I'm green. I'm up 650. I've still got some calls right now in Tesla, but it's just not ideal to try to trade the way that I do. So something I am working on is just kind of passing on days like today. But anyway, didn't get hurt, so can't complain too much. That's it for me. Chad, how's your day?
Yeah, it started out really, really good, and then it just went down the tubes. 1 DTE hit both my profit targets, 25%, 40%. My AM number 1, 20, 40, 60%. And I had the final 2 contracts on there. My first 3 almost hit profit targets. By like 11 a.m., I was up like over $7,000 in both accounts. And then it just all went downhill from there. My lunchtime number 1, full stop. I put on a lunchtime number 2. I booked 20%. It got off center, so I added. And then it was a big IV pump in, IV expansion that stopped out that lunchtime number 3, and then price reversed, and it stopped my lunchtime number 2 for a scratch trade. So it was a situation where if price moved down, my lunchtime number 2 was going to book profits. Price moved up, my lunchtime number 3 was going to book profits. But IV expansion stopped out the number 3, and then it ripped up and stopped the number 2. I mean, I cannot recall when that's happened. So, going to be my first red TLC day since, what did I say? Since April 22nd. So minus 3635 for 4 TLC trades. Throwing my one DTE, though, it was only a minus 1,775. So not that bad. But the Elmos, same thing. After 3 hitting profit targets, I had an Elmo stopped out in 34 seconds.
Wow.
At 134, that was the same time. That was about the same time that IV expansion happened. I literally had just opened it. Price hadn't moved in like 20 minutes. So I thought it'd be a good entry. So, I mean, what am I down in both accounts? I'm actually positive in my other account. I'm up $1,100. But my TLC account I'm down in. So thanks to the Elmos. 3 full stop Elmos. Down about $2,700 on the day. So not bad. First red day since April 22nd. And first double stop since for TLCs, first 2 full stops since April 16th.
So a month.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I can't be too upset. Some of this is just, lack of or small premiums with some IV expansion up and down, along with just too big a price movement for the premiums that you're getting.
Yeah, market started getting a little jumpy when Trump Daddy was talking. Then there were some other headlines that came out. U.S. not seeking to weaken the dollar as part of the trade deals. Market, that was a big shakeup.
Yeah, I mean, you look at
no intention of accepting Ukraine's offer to meet. So,
hey, you look at the 10 a.m. Central bar. I mean, that moved down almost 20 points.
Yeah,
in 6 minutes. And then you had a big rip back up. Then you had a couple other big moves down this afternoon, or around noontime this afternoon. Had a big bar up here in the last hour. What was that? That was a 13-point move. I mean, you can't be in trades where you're getting 13-point moves and you're 20 wide. It's not a good day for Delta Neutral. Once from about 10 a.m. Central on.
on top of the mountain, I got stopped. I didn't. Let me check my BIX. I didn't look at my slippage really very closely. Oh, getting a little down move now. My worst slippage was on that one, and I had a 70-cent slippage, but that's the worst I got. But yeah, that can happen when market makers, when there's a big volatility spike. Was that a broker resting order, or was that like a trade steward algo? S&P back in the red. Big movers on the individual stocks. SMCI was up more, but it's still up 14%. Big gap up after the only thing I read was there was an analyst upgrade. So big gap up, and then it's kind of sold off from where it opened. But AMD's up 4%, Tesla's up 4%, Nvidia's up almost 4%, Coinbase 2%. Netflix is a little green. I'm not sure what. There's a big dip in Netflix about 40 minutes ago. I'm not sure what that was, but it's recovered. On the red side, Hims is down a few percent. That thing's been on a tear. Uber's down almost 2%. Hood is down 2%. MSTR down 1%. Bitcoin's down 1%, although it's been rallying off the bottom here for the last few hours. Amazon's a little bit red. Costco a little bit red. We do have PPI tomorrow morning, along with retail sales and unemployment claims, and Powell speaking, all pre-market. So we'll see what kind of shakeup that brings us. So the SP is starting to bounce, but VIX is not really contracting. Just trying to find another headline on SMCI. Raymond James issued an outperform rating. There's some news on Boeing. They had that big, I guess the details of that big order announced. Initially it shot up this morning and then gave it all back. It's currently at lows of day. The news came out here, big spike, immediately sold back off, and then kind of chopped, looked like it was going back up to highs, and then just sold off. Chad, they just fired up the construction here just as Power Hour started, so feel free to kind of take over if you have anything you want to talk about. I'm going to go on mute here. So Chad, I'm looking at S&P right now, kind of this morning, and got my mouse over it. So you talked about a few days ago that one of the things that you look at, okay, yeah, and you just posted, one of the things that you look at that you like from a consolidation standpoint is a lot of wicks. How are you differentiating between spiky and wicks that you like? Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't realize when you were talking about that before that you were just thinking about that just specific to that time of day. You can see it. Yeah. Shis. So on the BIX, if I get stopped out, I hear the chime of the fill price, and then or on IB it's the voice, and then I just will go 90% of the time I just close the longs right away, but I like to have the ability to leave them open if the market's really moving. But like today, I mean like we just talked about, it was up and down and shaky and whippy, so I wasn't expecting like a big move or a big benefit out of my longs, so anytime I got stopped out, I just closed them immediately. And then you said, also, have you back tested or tested taking profits in the comp? Yeah, I've never found any benefit whatsoever to taking profits. Holding to expiration outperforms every single time. Yeah, so exactly what Mauro said. All right, if you put on a 50 wide put vertical, it costs you so much margin. It doesn't cost you any extra margin to put on that call vertical on the other side. SPX is just sitting there and VIX is popping. On that note, I am getting... I'm going to let's see if we get a big move here with this volatility spike. Put on a Rick. A quick Rick. See if we get a quick little move here. Look at the VIX. Yeah, I just ditched my Tesla calls too right before when that started happening as well. Yeah, sorry, MRP. I mentioned I've been going on mute because as soon as power hour started, I got some construction that just fired up in the background right outside. Robinhood is going through lows of day. Amazon is near lows. Robinhood is through lows of day. Amazon's near lows. Goldman Sachs is going through highs. Yeah, I read several things that when the market was falling, retail was kind of buying all the way down, which is interesting. Options still showing about an 8 to 10 point move. Yeah, that's why I just put on this Rick, Krish. See if we get a little move from this volatility expansion. Got about 5.5 minutes till MOC. VIX still creeping. Nothing's going on. Russell's starting to come down a little bit. S&P's just barely red. QQQ still near yesterday's high. $10 points down would be beautiful for my little Rick. SPX down to 58.80. A little over a minute. I'm going to turn on my audio for you all to hear it. Well, what's Pelosi saying? Up or down? I'm going down. Sell number. That's great. 2.9 billion buy side. Okay, I'll take a nut move on this, Rick. Keep going. Highs of day. Let's get up to 5,900. Come on. Keep her going. There we go. Pushing. Keep pushing. We need the highs of day here. All right, I closed one at $10.15. I'll hold the other one to expire. It wants it. It wants that high of day. Kind of pausing. need that high of day. Nice, Joseph T. Anybody else Wooga today? It is a Wednesday. No Wooga Wednesday. Look at NDX. NDX gapped up as soon as the MOC came out. Look at that gap on the 5-minute chart. No, it's usually back-to-back. Hold your head up. 4 more minutes. One more push. Dipping back into my valley. Don't even get me started tomorrow. Yes, it is. They're almost done, thank goodness. But it has been they're about a year over time-wise, and about, I don't know, however many tens of thousands of or hundreds of thousands of dollars over budget. It's insane. Yeah, well, it started since I moved my office here. So basically, every unit has its own like outdoor patio area, concrete, and it was just getting old and starting to chip off and everything. So they're essentially resurfacing the entire out cement, concrete cement outside, all the way up, 19-story building. All right, 90 seconds. Stay up. I'm right at my break even on my last contract on this. NASDAQ is staying up a little bit better. One minute. No, I didn't do anything long for the MOC. I just had this Rick on, which I booked profits on one of them, but now this one's coming back in the valley. Push up, push up, push up. 10 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. Looks like the final is around 58.92.59. So looks like basically a scratch on my last contract and book profits on the other one. So made a few coins off that little volatility spike. All right, all. That is a wrap. As far as the day trading schedule for tomorrow is Thursday the 15th. Chad will be streaming live at the market open for day trading. Be back for Power Hour Live. Everybody have a good night. Talk to you soon.